I'm just gonna get people to just hop on here, and I'm just getting my settings all set up here. So hello everybody, this is twinflameunion, and I am here for another live for you guys. Some of you also know me as Leela Kumar. Welcome aboard, and happy Saturday. Some of you also are celebrating Father's Day, so happy Father's Day. That is actually tomorrow for a lot of people in a lot of areas of the world. Just give me a second here. I'm still trying to get some of the settings set up as I'm waiting for people to hop on. And if people can hear me, let me know. That will be appreciated. Otherwise, I'll have to go back and start another live. Just let me know if you guys can hear me. Curious Cat says, hello, ma'am. Perfect. Can you hear me? I'm looking at my messages here on this computer. It's just easier because on our device, it just goes really fast. So I want to make sure that I catch everybody's question. And today's topic that we've got is, why hasn't your twin flame committed to you yet? Perfect. Thank you so much. Let me know where you guys are hopping from. It's always nice to know where everybody is kind of tuning in from. So today's topic is very, very hot. It's a topic where almost everybody at some point of their twin flame journey is always wondering. It doesn't matter whether you are a twin flame in a twin flame journey, or you're actually trying to get some information regarding your specific person. The rules kind of still apply. So we are gonna go into that topic. I also want to say that I've been doing this journey for a very long time, and I have also been dealing with a lot of twin flames for a very long time. 7 years now, 7.5 years to be exact, in the journey, and then definitely dealing with my own twin flame for 7 years now. It's been a long, long time. So I have studied the hair clip use. I have studied the journey. I've done a lot of research, and as I actually embarked in a platform to be a twin flame teacher for you guys, I've always been researching. And oh, happy birthday, Abdi. Wish you all the best and many more years to come forth here. So yeah, all the best. Hopefully you guys are drinking or doing something exciting for your birthday. It's also a privilege to have you here on your birthday, so that's very cool. I appreciate you guys all. I know that there's always new questions that people are asking, and how I do this is I also listen to you guys and your questions and your concerns, and then I try to come up with solutions and so forth. So we're gonna go into the topic, and really I have done actually so many articles. I have almost 100 articles in my website, 200 videos plus on my YouTube, so be sure to check all of that out. And if you want a private coaching session, that's my #1 bestseller. I always tell people to book that because it's just very, very personalized. So let's go into the topic. Basically, why is it that your twin flame is not committing to you? It could be many, many reasons, and I'm gonna actually go into the topic, and definitely let me know if you guys have any questions. You can also ask any questions when it's appearing on a live chat. It doesn't show up once it's uploaded afterwards, so it's sort of like that. And I don't have to. If you don't want me to call out your name, then that's fine. Just tell that in the chat, and I won't do that, to just kind of keep you anonymous, that sort of thing. Now, the reason that that is happening where your twin flame is not committing first and foremost is because there's something that you still need to work on. And you've probably heard about this already from various coaches or even articles or even through me, that this journey is all about self work. What does that mean? That means that everything that you are dealing with is an inner reflection of you. You know, I've gone very heavily on that topic lately because I'm just trying to explain to a lot of people regarding the journey and how that actually portrays outwards. Everything is a mirror, and I lately, like I said, I've been going into that topic a lot. So basically, in a nutshell, it's all about your self concept. I have actually an article on self concept. You can check that out in my website. It goes very deep in there. So, for those that don't understand what self concept is, it's literally, in a nutshell, in baby language, is regarding how you view everything. And that necessarily doesn't mean just how you view yourself, it's part of it. It's how you view yourself, people around you, how you see the world, and definitely this applies to all the relationships that you have in your life. How you view your relationship with your parents, your family, your friends, your colleagues, your neighbors, people that you meet in grocery stores, and of course, your relationship that is in a romantic nature. When it's romantic nature, we're talking about a twin flame relationship, or just simply, you know, the person that you are specifically interested in, right? Whether it's a soulmate or somebody of that kind, it doesn't matter. You're tuned into this video for a reason. So, you know, I'm gonna take it that you have, you want to know more about what this, how this affects you. So, in a nutshell, if you have a different kind of viewpoint on all these kind of aspects in a self concept, then what ends up happening is it starts to play out in your physical reality like a mirror, right? Everything is a mirror. You know, we've got scenarios like third party, right? You know, that people are always wondering about, they have, and I always say that it's all again in a reflection, right? Your third party could be also a person. It could be just somebody that's your specific person is just too busy with work. You know, it could be many things. So what is it that this person has? You have to, it's such an individualized aspect of the journey that you have to actually look into it, write it down. Of course, you know, it's not that easy. If you knew what was affecting your situation, you wouldn't you wouldn't be in this turmoil, right? But at the end of the day, that's what it is. And I just want to say that another aspect of self-concept is how you view the relationship with your twin flame. If you feel that, I'm going to give you an example. If you feel that your twin flame is not ready for a relationship with you, or if you are viewing it that way, that your twin flame is too busy working, doesn't want to, is not ready for that relationship, then what ends up happening is, it starts to play out in your physical reality, because that's what they are doing. They're working and they're too busy, making money, and that's just their focus, that kind of stuff. Another viewpoint could be that, your twin flame is in a third party, and you are saying to yourself, or how you view the relationship with you and them, is that you're saying, well, he's in a third party, he's he doesn't want to commit to me, he doesn't love me, or she doesn't love me, she doesn't want to commit. Like, I'm just saying it in a very generic gender, so take it as it resonates in your situation. But basically, you're just saying that this person is too busy, focused on their children, if they have any, and they're focused in their partner, and they're not focused in you. So all of that also goes into that lack mentality of the fact that you don't feel that you're prioritized, that you're not good enough. So this is where everything is interconnected. This is why a lot of times, we in the spiritual community say it's all about inner work. It's all about self work. It's all about self love and feeling like that you are a priority even in their life, kind of like that. Sometimes affirmations are a helping tool to help you assist with that situation where you can uh, you can kind of help recondition your self-concept. So there's lots of affirmations and guided meditation. I believe I actually have one too on my YouTube on how to build that and how to strengthen that. But until you change that viewpoint regarding your self-concept, regarding the relationship with them, what will end up happening is it will keep cycling through and keep showing you in the physical reality like a mirror that that's what it is, that it's true. No, well, that's not true. That don't feel, if somebody's saying that it's don't fall for a twin flame trap, it will lead to a lifetime of heartbreak. That again depends on your own self-concept. Is if that's what you believe, then that's what's gonna end up showing. This is a classic example of what I'm trying to say here, that everything is a mirror. And you can apply this principle not just in twin flame relationships. You can apply it, be it your relationship with your friends, your family, your colleagues, and so forth. If you think that this world is going to, to the dooms, right, regarding politics, it'll show that in your physical reality. It is this is the law. This is not something that I made up. It's something that you can try and test it out, and you will see that that will actually play out. A lot of concept like money, for example, if people feel that money, when you have lots of money, people that are rich, they just have misery and nothing else, then that's what's going to show up in your life as well, where you will block the aspect of money coming in your way, because you are, you've got this self-concept that everybody that is rich, they're just simply miserable, right? They don't they're not happy, that money does not bring happiness. So again, like I said, it's a law. It's not a law that is made up. It's actually the way that the universe actually works. So if I were you guys and you are really looking into this idea of how to fix something, not just necessarily your life with your twin flame, anything else, this is how it works. It's really, really at the bottom of at the end of the day, that's what it is. So how to get out of that programming is try to, and the thing is that according to my research and just what I said in my article, your self-concept starts to build literally when you are born. It's something that is embedded to you through society, your parents, right, your siblings, your school, because when you go to school, you learn a lot of things as well. And then just, social media, TV, right? It's what you grew up with, movies, those kind of things will definitely play a toll on your self-concept, good or bad, because at the end of the day, not everything is going to be bad that you've learned. You've also learned some great things as well. So, that's just basically how you are formed from the time that you were actually growing up. So it's something that you need to change from there. This is why a lot of times we recommend like an inner child healing, that kind of stuff, because it just kind of helps with that. Any questions that anybody has, you can drop it down in the comments. I will answer, and I will clarify any of the misconceptions that you guys have, because that's what I'm here for, to help you guys navigate this journey. right? I know that there was, if this person is watching, I actually still have to do a Ava series on that on that question. But this person's question was that a very simple one that I will talk about is I got a lot of views on that is names, right? If you have a specific person in your mind, you see their names everywhere, and that's just a reflection of who what is happening inside, or everything's a mirror. Like I said, even if you see signs and things, that's all a reflection of you, right? It's giving you a reflection of your state, whatever that is. So anyways, in that case, what you'll have to explain me why your case is complex. You'll have to tell me a little bit about that so that I can, you know, give you an idea, right? If you need to, sometimes on chat it doesn't allow you to do it. Allows you on a certain character, so you can go part one, part two, and then I'll just kind of read it like that and skip through any other comments in between to kind of get through your case. Of course, keep it short. And what basically I was saying is that I lost my train of thought here. I don't know what I was saying. Hopefully I'll come to that. But really, you want to make sure that you are focused on just all your concepts, whatever that is that you're trying to figure out or work on, that kind of stuff. You also want to just kind of write down. This is a writing exercise that I'm going to tell you is literally, if you want to kind of simplify things between you and your relationship, write down how you see the situation and what stories. This is very, very important, that what kind of stories you are also telling yourself and what stories you're telling others. This is a very, very good way to understand where you are with your with your self-concept regarding your relationship with them. If you are finding that you are making excuses, that they are in a third party. Oh yeah, that was the train of thought. Okay, I'm gonna go to that. I'm gonna write it down because otherwise I'll forget. Third party. Okay. Because I was going to that and then a question kind of, I'll get to that. So you want to write that down, and what you want to do is make sure that you just kind of go within and see how you tell, because obviously you've told somebody regarding your relationship with your twin flame or your specific person to somebody. So what you need to do is figure out what that story is that you're telling people, whether it's third party, whether they're too busy at work, whether they have fear issues, whether they don't like you. Could be many, many things, right? I don't know what they are. You know what they are. So go there, write that down, and really, really study it for about 5-10 minutes. And then from there, what you do is you fix that, right? You change the story to whatever story you want it to reflect. For example, I'm gonna go with a couple of scenarios here, and then you guys kind of get an idea. Let's just say that your twin flame is too busy focused on their business, their career. They're just busy making the money, and they are not thinking about committing to you, right? They're not ready for a relationship. So the flip side to that is, and if that's what you're telling people and friends and family and whoever's around you, that this is what it is. So that is your self-concept, right? What you want to do is you want to change it to the opposite. Just say that he or she is now ready to commit to me. They are ready for the relationship. They have they worked hard on their career, their business, their finances, and they are in a good place now where they are ready to take the next step of going for something more serious. You know, kind of gave you an idea there. Another scenario is, if they're in a third party relationship, and that's what you've been telling everybody is, the third party situation, this and that. So how you change that concept is you change it to the opposite. You say that I'm going to, that your specific person, your twin flame or whoever it is, what they're doing is they are trying to wrap up their, and it has to be believable. That's another thing, because otherwise, if it's not believable to you, you're not gonna be able to convince it, right, to yourself or to others. So be realistic with it. Say that your specific person, your twin flame, is now focused on us and is trying to wrap up his karmic relationship, his relationship with this X factor and this situation, and they everything's going well for them. There is a very easy separation there. They're working on getting that done, and as soon as that's all wrapped up, we will we will have our relationship or something like that, or say that my person is now focused on me and wants to be with me and is doing everything, turning everything around to make sure that that is the case in our situation. Something like that. So I'm gonna go back to this lady that asked me this question, or this person. I can't remember what gender that person was, but they were questioning about the names. Why do they see names everywhere? Like I said, when you see signs and things, it's a reflection of you, right? It's still telling you about your state. So when you are seeing somebody's name specifically, of course, that person is also thinking about you, because it's everything is connected. Energy is fluid, everything is connected, and in this case, that's what it is. They're also thinking about you, but it also confirms to you that this is all partial manifestation, especially if you are in the manifesting gear where you're trying to manifest something, right? You are getting signs and things as a confirmation that you're on the right path, but that's all you're manifesting is just signs and things. You haven't manifested the person yet. So when you see a person's, it could reflect in many ways how this person's situation was, is that this person was seeing the third person in the relationship or in that sequence, karmic person or whatever, that person's name. Every time that name would appear, this person would get all triggered and would get all wrapped up on what's happening and why am I seeing it and all that sort of thing. So I replied in that video saying that it's because it's a reflection of you, meaning that everything's a mirror, and this is showing your fears and your doubts and all that sort of thing. So of course this person couldn't understand that, and this is a classic example of this, and that is that this person is very much aware of the third party that is there in their relationship dynamic. And because this person is aware of it and probably thinking about that situation day in, day out, and the law of the universe is that it's going to show you that, and that's what is reflected back to that person via the person's name. It's that simple. It's really, I'm trying to simplify it for you guys, that these kind of things do happen, and everything is a mirror, and there is a reason why you see certain things like that, right? It's not there because of chance. Nothing is by chance. Nothing is a coincidence, right? Everything is there via synchronicity. So the person is seeing that person's name, right? The third party person is because day in, day out, that is the fear and the concern, the doubt, that is being shown to that person to kind of work on and heal and reflect. So, and I will go more deep into it in the Ava series, but I just kind of wanted to bring you guys this kind of example that will actually play out. It's just the way it is. It's the law, and it's gonna do that. So the case is, I don't think I would ever be in union with my twin flame. Again, that's your self concept, and that's what this whole entire video is about. I want to concentrate on my own inner healing. Can I ask you how to start doing the inner work? All my blogs and even uh, my YouTube channel talks about that a lot. Inner work starts with, of course, everything is inwards, right? Like I said. So if you want to do inner work, you need to do a lot of, you have to focus on yourself. When you focus on yourself, things that come up is definitely like inner child, right? That is there. And that's a crucial part of everybody's journey, is to figure out where your inner child is. I have actually a blog on that, so, and I believe even a video. So maybe just kind of search Vinita Kumar and just say inner child and see what comes up in the search bar of the YouTube. Maybe it'll show up if I have a video on it. So inner child is very, very important, because from the time you are a baby to age 8, what ends up happening is you're developing your self-concept, but you're also, you know, kind of building the foundation of your adulthood, if that makes sense. And what happens is, as you're growing up, there's a lot of things that happen between that time, and through the lenses of that child that is there, sometimes it could be as simple as your sibling not giving you your favorite toy, or if you're in a store and your parents did not buy you this item or that, like in a way you feel like that you're neglected. There's so many aspects of it. It could be abuse. I deal, because I do inner child healing with with my clients. I see all sorts of things. I see incest, I see sexual abuse, I see abuse, I see all of that stuff, and things that are not really, you see, what your soul does is, and it does that very well. And this is why even though you guys know that you had past lives before, your soul, when you came here into this lifetime, your soul gave you amnesia. So meaning that you don't remember your life. You have bits and pieces of maybe downloads that's what has happened or that hasn't happened or something like that regarding you and your person. But at the end of the day, you come in with that, with that amnesia, is because your soul doesn't want you to see things that are going to traumatize you. And when you were that little, between age 1 to 8, you also did the same thing. A lot of times you blocked and don't remember certain aspects of your childhood because of that trauma that's there, right? Or a self-concept that was built there, something that, and what I do is I take my clients to that time. They go and meet their mini-me, and they gather information, and then we make sense of it. So it's a 2-hour session, and we go there multiply, right? So that's what I do. I'm just saying that that's just a type of healing that you can do. Another way is self-love. You may want to check out my self-love program. It dives really heavily in that. And let me see what else she's saying, or he. My case is complex because I was already married when I came across my twin flame. You was married. So, okay, it depends on your situation. See, I'll give you this example of a cup, right? It has water in it, and I'm just saying, when people are in a relationship, you as a viewer, if you are already in a relationship, your cup is already full. Where is the universe going to pour something into it, right? So empty this. When you empty this, that's where everything changes. Just saying, right? You cannot expect things to move for you when your cup is full. Your cup is full, there's no room for the universe to pour something in. It's just the way nature works, right? So empty your vessel, empty your cup, and see how things unfold, right? It's a harsh reality, and hopefully you have gotten out of that situation. And if you haven't, then you need to figure that out. And a lot of times people stay in relationships because of many things. One is finances, the other one is children, right? And again, this goes back to your self-concept on how you view that. You know, if you feel, or even religion or societal situation, right? We are living in 21st century now, and a lot of that is conditioning. You know, there's a false misconcept that people that live, that are coming from broken homes, do not have a good life. They do. You make your life for however way you want it to be, right? You are the operant power. You are the creator of your reality. So if your finances is not on to par where you can actually do this by yourself, and you are stuck in that situation because of finances, then you can fix that, right? uh, get out of that situation, manifest money, right? And money is very, very important. At least, you know, it is for a lot of people. You know, if money wasn't important, then it wouldn't buy you housing, it wouldn't buy you groceries, it wouldn't buy you transportation, right? It wouldn't give you that ability to go and earn money, right? So all these things are very, very important when you are trying to, you know, move or shift your sense of reality, whatever that is. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna, if there is anything that you want to take from my advice to you, is that you're gonna turn that around and say that my case is very simple, and I have very, very simple um, techniques to manifest my situation with my twin flame. So my life is very simple, my case is very simple. There's nothing that I cannot do to shift that, and then shift it and see how that kind of plays out. I hope this actually helped you. Let me know if there was anything that you wanted more towards this this pep talk here, or that was good enough. So yeah, with that, I just think that when you work on all of these things, it also helps to deal with your past life trauma. That also changes or explains the current story or the current reality that you and your twin flame are in, because everything stems from there too. You do have past lives with your twin flame, especially if you are in any other kind of soul connection. This is why a lot of people think that soulmates and twin flame is all fluffy relationships. They are not, because they're meant to actually transform you, right? Especially twin flame relationships or connection. That's all about your inner transformation and healing. And because it's a spiritual connection, then your journey is very spiritual, right? So you need to actually dive into all those kind of aspects of the healing that's there. Sometimes you also have to do some sort of ancestral healing, right? That's when a lot of shamanic work comes in. So that kind of stuff is very, very important when you're trying to heal. And the more you heal, the easier it gets to your situation, where you can actually make a better life out of the things that is unfolding in front of you. So any other questions that anybody has, let me know. I'm just gonna maybe do another 10 minutes. So let me know if there is anything else that you guys want. And it doesn't have to be pertaining to this topic. I mean, I kind of have a topic here, but if you guys have anything that's out of topic, you can definitely ask me as well. It's your chance to ask me live. My coaching sessions and stuff like that are very, very expensive for some of you. And this is why I started doing lives, so that people can catch me here and I'm able to answer, your questions and concerns and stuff like that. And I'll try to do more of the monthly lives as best as I can, depending on um, my schedule. And I know that I made that announcement in my last video regarding um, I'm going to be building, if some of you have taken already my self-love course or my empath training or my, like any of my programs, there's only a few that I've created so far, but the biggest one that I'm going to create, and I'm already, doing the prep work for it, is how to manifest your specific person or your twin flame. Again, nothing is, if you can manifest a cup of coffee, then it's the same idea that you can manifest your twin flame, right? Or you can manifest your specific person, because the law is very, very clear about that, right? There is no such thing that only you get the sunshine, because the universe only loves you and doesn't give sunshine to the rest of the world, right? Rest of the people or plants or things. It doesn't work that way, right? Everything is equal. So if you can manifest signs and things, then you can manifest your twin flame and your specific person, your soulmate, right? If you are stuck and you cannot manifest, there's probably a lot of things regarding your self-concept and just how you view the relationship. And your biggest takeaway from this video is, what you need to do is figure out that part, that why do you feel that your twin flame is not committing to you. And there's a story there that you're telling yourself, you're telling this to your friends, and you're even telling this to your family, right? You know what that story is. Everybody has a different story. You need to ask yourself, what is that story? And in a simplest form, once you are there, you figured out your story, whatever you're telling people, right? The excuse that you're giving, right? Excuse, story, it's the same thing, right? Because what end up happening is that there is a reason for that. And it's sort of like that self-soothe situation that you're doing. It's very, very powerful, because what people do as human beings is, in order to deal with whatever situation that they have with the person, or whatever trauma that this person is going through, they give another story to themselves to soothe themselves. It's like a self-soothing mechanism that most human beings have for everything. And what you've done is you've made up a story, and you are now sticking through that story because it gives you that kind of band-aid, right? It's like a temporary band-aid that you've given to yourself, so that you can justify your situation or your state of being. And it could be good, it could be bad, and you need to figure out what that is. Of course, if you want to book a private coaching session, you can do that as well, because then I can actually help you to figure out what that is. It's very, very powerful, and it's not very hard to figure out, because everybody has their self-concept on things, right? But the thing is that sometimes it takes a little bit to even figure out that part. Thank you for your amazing guidance. At the surrender stage, can you maintain communication with your DM, or should you wait for the DM to come back? DM means divine masculine. can you maintain communication? A lot of people ask me this, even my clients do this, and this is something that again goes back to your inner state, and this is a very key thing that I'm gonna explain, and write notes if you need to. See, the thing is that when it comes to you dealing with your specific person, when you're dealing with your twin flame, people are too focused on the actual 3D, right? They're too focused on the fact that they're not talking to you. They are not, they call you sometimes, if sometimes they don't call you, sometimes this, sometimes that, right? When you are trying to go into the manifesting world, you have to ignore your current circumstances. And this is where the law of assumption actually comes in, where you create another story and another situation where you're saying that no, my divine masculine is always contacting me, is always prioritizing me, is always making me their number one priority. The thing is that when it comes to whether you should contact them or not, or wait for them to contact you, or wait for them to come back, the thing is that you are holding that space no matter what. And I'm not going to say don't hold that space. That's up to you if you're holding that space and you are waiting for them to come back. If you are doing that, then what you need to do is you need to just basically focus on you, right? While you're let the universe do its thing, you focus on yourself, right? Don't chase them. I mean, even though you are the chaser in this relationship, try not to chase them too much, right? If they are, making contact with you, that's fine. If they're not making contact with you, ignore the 3D and live in that assumption. And then that's going to be where in that program I'm going to actually dive really deep on how to how to cultivate that part where you're not doing the chasing too much. It's that like, and the main thing that I'm gonna be, because I actually I got this whole thing from Neville Goddard and Joseph Murphy, just because they had the same teacher, Abdullah, and it was based on the law of assumption. And I started actually giving that out to my clients, the techniques and what to do and what not to do, kind of thing there. But the course is gonna definitely help you if you guys are in a rush and you want to actually skip their. I mean, you can get the course too, but if you want like a little bit more immediate situation, then you can also try booking with me, and then I can coach you guys, because I started doing that with my clients. And this is some of the things that they are always coming back and asking, what should I do? You do not do anything is what you should do when it comes to them. Don't forget about, you won't be able to forget about them, but don't work in trying to making contact with them. Don't worry about the fact that they're not contacting you. Don't send them messages, that kind of stuff. Allow things to unfold naturally, and it will, because the thing is, it's the law, it's the universe, it's gonna work no matter what. You can test it out with your friends. There's always, how many of you have this situation where you are always the one that's contacting your friends? Let's go out, do this, do that. Let me know if anybody is in that situation where you feel like that, or your parents or your sisters, you're making contact all the time and they're not actually making contact. If you are in that situation where you've noticed that, then step back. Test this. Step back and say, no, I'm not making contact with them. I'm not going to call them. I'm not going to suggest, let's go hang out. Let's do this. Let's do that. I'm going to get them to contact me, and see how you can reverse that. And if you can reverse that situation, then you can also reverse your situation with your twin flame, because the law, like I said, works evenly and equally for everybody, right? So it's all about vibration, it's all about frequency, it's all about your inner state, and whatever your inner state is what you will actually see outpictured in the physical reality. um, there's so many layers to that, and I'm not sure if I'm making myself a little bit more clearer here in this video, but that's what it is. So again, it's all about your self-concept. What else? Yeah, I already answered that, because yeah, she was asking, can you maintain communication with your DM, or should you want to wait for the DM to come back? I mean, do you stop chasing? So I kind of answered that, right? That you don't. And then the next question is, would that make me a bad person? Because even though his family is toxic, he has been good to me. Even though I'm married, we live separately because of work or something or the other. There's a few questions that this person is asking is, see, again, this is going back to the self-concept, because you think that you believe and you think that you are doing something bad. See, nothing is complicated unless you make it complicated, right? So this is where you change that self-concept and you say to yourself, well, everything stems down to feeling that you're worth it. And if you don't feel that you're worthy of receiving anything, whether it's love, friendship, money, and respect, and all those kind of things, then it's going to get outpictured to you in your physical reality. So first of all, you'll have to find your worth. You can write that as a note, because that is what I see based on your question here. Just because you said that, you feel that when you're doing all of these things, then would that make me a bad person? Well, why do you believe that you're a bad person? And that's where your self-concept is, right? And then you're saying that because even though his family is toxic, and then now you need to ask yourself this question: why do you feel that your twin flame's family is toxic? Right? Again, that's a self-concept, because now you feel that that's what it is. And is it really true? And if it is really true, then how can you shift that? Because everything is shiftable, right? So there's already two things that I already see here in this question. And this is a good self-concept. Like I said, self-concept is good and bad. So this is a good self-concept that you have, is that you know that your twin flame is good to you. So that's a good one. Even though I am married, we live separately because of work. So hopefully that's what you're asking, that you and your person, you are married, but you live separately. So if that you've already are living separately, then what is tying you to this relationship, right? This is where you're already experiencing the single life. You're already experiencing the independence, right? You're not living with this person. So you're already in that situation. What is keeping you tied to this person? Why is it that you're not emptying your cup? That's something that you need to ask yourself, right? And then I don't know what the other part is that you're mentioning, but hopefully this kind of, I broke it down for you to simplify things so that you can understand that everything is an inner reflection. Whatever is being outpictured to you in your physical reality is a reflection of what's happening, how you view people, how you view things, how you view the situation. And that is, all these three things are very, very important when it comes to your self-concept. I remember this was many years ago regarding my twin flame. Again, it all depends on how you view the situation, right? Like when it came to my twin flame, I knew that he told me personally that his family is very, very easy, which meant that there was no issues regarding like easygoing, right? So he's where his family is concerned and where my family is concerned, like they are very easygoing in terms of him and me, right? Let's just say I knew that part, right? And then there was, I had that even reflect in a reading, and it was good. And then there was another reader that picked up that, oh, there's influence in the family, and I really didn't believe that, because it's how you believe, your situation to be. In fact, I mean, I even have some sort of ties with my twin flame's mom, because she actually even came in a dream and gave me messages. So what I'm trying to say is that it all depends on your self concept and where your belief is, right? And if you feel that your outside circumstances regarding your twin flame, like if they don't have any influence, like let's just say sometimes you have people in the, especially when I'm dealing with clients, they'll say, oh yeah, this person's interference is there, like twin flames family is there, that's giving issues, or it could be friend, or some other advisor or coach or whatever it is that they've got going. And again, this is just your self concept even around that part. So if you have a good self concept, then that is not the case, even though sometimes it'll come up with other uh, it'll maybe show up in a reading or in a or this or that. I'm just saying that this could show up, but doesn't mean that that's true, right? You have your truth, and you should stick to that truth, if that makes sense. Any other questions before I actually go? It's already 51 minutes of me being live, and I hope that this kind of made sense. Whatever I was saying, everything that is happening that you do not like, you can actually shift that. And when you shift that aspect, things will change. It has to, because it's the law. There's no way around to that. And if people believe that twin flame relationships are toxic, then that's what you're gonna see being presented to you. So I would say be mindful of who you watch, even on YouTube as coaches, and which articles you read, because twin flame relationships are not ever toxic. They teach you lessons, and they teach you what to heal. They show you your blocks, and it doesn't matter if you don't heal them, because the next relationship that you're gonna actually have or encounter, 100% those things that happened between you and twin flame will repeat with somebody else. It doesn't, even if you move on from the journey and you don't like, oh, I don't want to deal with my twin flame because this, the next relationship you go, bam, you're gonna be seeing the same scenario play out. Because at the end of the day, everything is a mirror, and your twin flame is very, very good at showing you your true self and how you can actually heal it. If you understand that concept, then then you know that it's not really toxic. So if toxic things are being played out in your physical reality, then you need to ask, well, what am I manifesting here? Because it's all a reflection of me inside, right? If you feel that your twin flame is narcissistic, then obviously you yourself have some sort of narcissistic tendencies somewhere deep within, and that's why it's being reflected back to you. Positive mindset is really important. Thank you for shedding your light. Of course, that's I'm here to clarify all of those kind of things, because I hear this all the time, right? I like I said, I've been dealing with twin flames for 7 years now, and I've heard it all, right? I've heard of black magic, doesn't exist. I've heard of evil eye, doesn't exist. I've heard of narcissism, right? Doesn't exist. I've even heard of other people, factors like external factors, influences that are playing, doesn't exist. So yeah, high back, save wildlife. That is true. It was funny how you said that, because I was talking to somebody recently, and I don't know, I don't think that animals should be kept in a zoo. So it's not, even though some of them are sanctuaries, you know, where they've actually rescued them from some situations. I like those, but zoo, I'm not sure. I think that sometimes, you know, that's my viewpoint. You don't have to agree, but I feel that you know, they are meant to live, you know, freely, right? And I mean, even though zoos keep them really well, but that's just the way that I look. Because sometimes when I go, last time, it was a couple of years ago, I went to Hawaii, and my cousin's children, they wanted to see the zoo, and when I went there, I didn't like it. I didn't, maybe it's because I was more conscious and more awakened. I didn't feel that the animals were, you know, in their happiest state. So that's just my view. Uh, I mean, my husband's family has been toxic. I've been talking about my husband. This relationship feels karmic. Yeah, again, it's all going back to the same situation, whatever that is that you feel is the case, right? Shift it, work on it. There is you can revise anything. It's very, very powerful revision. Again, this is the law of assumption. That's Neville's teaching. You can go into, if there's things that are happening in your day to day or even events. I actually started doing that, offering it to people as well, revisions. If there is something that you don't like about a scenario, you can go back in that time and give it another outcome. I started doing that actually even with my healing sessions, where some kind of trauma or something comes, you know, I give it another outcome right there and then, so that I can clear it for them. So it's something that you can look into how to revise. There is a technique to that. So, you know, have a look at that. In a nutshell, the technique is just before you're going to bed, you're going into that state akin to sleep mode, you know, that sleepy, drowsy state. You can go into that scene where, you know, something that you didn't like about, you know, that particular time or event, or even on a day-to-day basis, and you can actually go in and give it a positive outcome. And what that does, it actually shifts your state, you know, your awareness to something more positive. So revise everything. It's very, very powerful. You're welcome. I appreciate you guys all, and thanks for joining me. And with that, this was Twin Flame Union, bringing you guys this particular topic, and that was, why is it that your twin flame is not committing to you? Let me know if this was informative to you guys. You know, I hope that everything that you guys are working on actually is going to help. And of course, if you want to book any private sessions, you can do so. You should be able to find it in the about section of you know, of my channel. You can go into my website. Everything, all the links are there. I also want to announce here, and actually will do that with all my videos. I started to, because I have a lot of social media platforms. So what I decided to do is I do it individually, where I'm gonna list and this is where I encourage you guys to follow me in all the social media you know, profiles that is there listed, because I'm gonna be from time to time showing giving you guys free coaching you know, draws. So I just posted one on Twitter this morning, so all my Twitter followers can you know, follow like basically if they are my follower there, and then they you know, they can send me an email, and then I will do a draw next week for that. So I'll do that on YouTube. I've done that already on Facebook. I'll do that. I've done it on Facebook, Twin Flame Union Facebook group. I've done that there, and I will do that on Instagram. So these are, so you have Facebook group, you have Facebook page, you have Instagram, and you have Twitter, and then you have YouTube. So I will actually put those kind of you know, from time to time as my time permits, where it's if my schedule is open, I will actually post that, and then people can send me emails, and then I will do a draw for a free coaching session. That's $150 US. That is a 1 hour coaching session, and I've taken coaching sessions before from other people, and it's nothing what I give you guys. You guys are lucky, is what I'm gonna say, because I still have yet to find people that actually offer what I offer. So yeah, I always say that to people, because I struggle just like you guys are struggling in your journey. I have my struggles too, and I have to actually, I'm no different than you guys, right? Yeah. So with that, I'm gonna let you guys go. Have a blessed day, and happy Father's Day.